In July 1968, two visionaries set out to start a new company working on integrated circuits. Semiconductor memory and emerging technology looked promising at that time, and that's how Intel came to be. We've moved from memory to microprocessors and beyond. In the process, we created an industry that has transformed computing.
Intel's willingness to invest in building unbelievable chips has revolutionized the computing business. You know, there were no personal computers before Intel drove the microprocessor to the level it's achieved. And so over a 20-year period, constantly making that processor faster and better and building the systems around it, it's been phenomenal.
And that computing industry has transformed society, changing forever how the world works.
Intel's had a remarkable impact on our industry and, kind of society at large. The industry needed a standard to create a really powerful ecosystem, and Intel was really at the center of that, and it touched off a massive wave of productivity increases and improvements in business and education and medicine and kind of all elements of society. So there's a incredible impact for the good on the entire world.
Well, I believe Intel has been, how can I say, one of the major drivers in the growth and evolution of the PC industry since the beginning, making technology available to a big number of people, let's say millions and millions of people.
We continuously advance silicon technology, creating innovations that allow people to connect, invent, and discover in ways unimagined 40 years ago. Our products enable people to work wirelessly, receive better medical care, explore online worlds and outer space, access the internet anytime, anywhere, and to tackle some of today's toughest problems. At Weill Cornell Medical College, researchers at the Institute of Computational Biomedicine are using Intel technology to explore deep inside the human body. They've created this 3D virtual reality theater called The Cave. This immersive environment helps them better understand genetic and cellular data, which could lead to major breakthrough discoveries in treating diseases.
I think one of the big things that we're going to see in the next 10 or 15 years, maybe even 5, in cancer treatment is this idea of using your personal genome or your gene expression patterns to tailor therapies for you as a person.
This is just one aspect of the research. Hundreds of Intel Xeon and Itanium-based servers are also helping researchers analyze the heart and determine who's at risk for heart problems.
Several years ago, before people were not using high-performance computing systems, basically this was a problem that you could not investigate in this way. So now it's opened up entirely new avenues of research for us and for the community as a whole. We couldn't do that without our Intel processors.
From scientific breakthroughs to connecting families, Sophie Waddington Bahena is a college student in the United States living several time zones away from her loved ones.
They're primarily on the continent of Africa and in Europe, and there's some in Asia.
But our technology has helped remove those geographical boundaries. With Skype and her laptop, her family and friends are now just a few mouse clicks away.
The computer goes with me everywhere I travel, so I don't think I'd be very far without a computer.
Changing lives and sometimes changing entire countries. Vietnam is one of the world's fastest growing PC markets. Our billion-dollar assembly and test plant is rising up from a former rice field. When completed, it'll offer more than 4,000 much-needed jobs. This factory is one of Vietnam's largest foreign investments, and Vietnam officials believe our presence will attract other global giants.
Giờ có thể nói rằng chúng tôi bị nhà máy trong cái quá trình là đang xây dựng, nhưng mà trước mắt chúng tôi có thể nói rằng Intel đã góp phần thúc đẩy chuyển dịch kinh tế của thành phố Hồ Chí Minh.
Our impact has been felt across the globe in more than 60 countries, including Malaysia, our first overseas site.
They have been here for a long time, and they have contributed a lot, not only in terms of the development of industry itself, but also the community especially in education.
Intel has invested hundreds of millions of dollars to improve education around the world. Through the Intel Teach program, we've trained more than 5 million teachers to effectively integrate technology into the classrooms. Michael Scott is part of that program, and his school in Portland, Oregon is testing Classmate PCs.
I would love to see a Classmate computer on each of the desks. I just think that it's such a useful tool.
Students from more than 30 countries around the world are using these specially designed kid-friendly PCs.
They really taught me a bunch about computers, a bunch of stuff I didn't know.
Intel's impact in education stretches beyond the classroom. The Intel Learn program and the Intel Computer Clubhouse Network are 2 after-school programs teaching technology skills to underserved children all over the world. Nancy Duyon attended the flagship Computer Clubhouse in Boston when she was 12. It was here she discovered her passion for technology and later motivated other Clubhouse students in her role as a Clubhouse leader. Now she's 22 and has a college degree in information systems and sociology.
I wonder where I would be today if I didn't have that program.
This summer, Nancy's interning at Intel as part of a graduate school fellowship funded by the Intel Foundation.
Intel was my #1 choice just because I felt so familiar with the company. I mean, they've always been kind of a part of my life, and I felt like for the most part they have funded all my skills.
Nancy is still actively involved in the Computer Clubhouse as a volunteer. Giving back to the cities and towns that have welcomed us as their neighbor has been a long-standing Intel commitment, and during our anniversary year, we're continuing to build on that strong tradition of volunteerism. Intel employees around the world are sharing their time and talents to help improve the quality of life where we do business. It's our way of thanking our local communities for their support, a gift of 1 million hours of volunteer service to mark our 40th anniversary. In a rural village outside of Kulim, Malaysia, volunteers visit the elderly women who live here. Intel volunteers have been coming to this village since 2001. They help with a variety of chores, and these volunteers have built a close relationship with these women.
Rasa bangga lah, macam anak-anak makcik nak mai lah. Seronok macam tu lah. Kak Cumi rasa seronok lah sebab Kak Cumi pun tak ada siapa kan. Mak pak pun tak ada. Jadi orang tua-tua ni Kak Cumi anggap macam mak-mak sendirilah. Macam tuk sendiri, macam mak kita lah kan. Kita pun tak ada mak dah.
What we're doing has a large and tangible impact on the world, changing lives through volunteerism and education, through our products and technologies. But the opportunities are limitless.
Intel, at the end of the day, isn't a company of assets and buildings and fabs. Yeah, those are important, but it's people. You know, without the brain power and the drive of our employees, there'd be nothing. I think about what we can do over the next 40 years to advance the state of information and computing and use electronics to solve the big problems of health or environment. This is actually a very, very good time to be in the industry. It's, you know, in a human scale, 40 years is when you have a midlife crisis and you think about things and you go buy a red Ferrari or something. That's not what Intel's about. Intel's not at a midlife crisis. Intel is, I think, just beginning its journey.
Happy 40th anniversary, Intel. Microsoft looks forward to continuing our successful partnership. We wish you another successful 40 years.
Congratulations to everyone at Intel on a fantastic 40 years. You're almost as old as I am, which means you're off to a great start and you've got a bright future ahead.
Congratulations, Intel, and thanks for enabling our work in cardiac modeling. We couldn't do it without you.
Thanks for helping me accomplish so many of my goals.
Thanks for letting me stay in touch with my family and friends.
Terima kasih Intel. Selamat ulang tahun yang ke-40.